Hello, I'm Arman Khodaei, a 25-year-old with high-function autism who has mostly overcome the aspects pertaining to that. Today's video is something I should probably take much more seriously than I do in my life. I'm going to talk about food and special diets. I know I've mentioned it before, but I'm going to go more in depth, and I'm going to talk about my own health as it relates to how I eat and where I'm at health-wise and everything. So a lot of parents, wonder about the gluten and casein-free diet. Some people say it's complete bogus, you shouldn't invest in it, it's not good, yada yada yada. I can't speak on behalf of the gluten, but I do know people without autism who have removed gluten from their diets and have had tremendous improvement. I just cannot remove gluten from my diet in the household that I live because breads and that sort of product is so dominant in my household. It's an impossibility. Unless I were to starve to death, and I'm already practically doing that, which I'll talk about later in this video. So, people have had dramatic improvements taking out gluten that not even autism related, and I do believe that that there could definitely be some improvements at some point in my life, like when I move out of the house. I really want to do like a 3 months without gluten, and then slowly reintroduce it into my system and see how the effects are, whether I'm better with or without, or if it doesn't have any effect either way. So now about milk. Milk has had a tremendous impact on my life. In the second grade, it was discovered that I was allergic to casein, the milk particle, so I had it removed, and I used to have very severe, insane tantrums, and those greatly rescinded. And then if I'd have some milk, I would sometimes get very angry. I'd start mouthing off, having other severe tantrums again. Because, sometimes my mom would buy milk products, or actually, they'd always be around in the house. And so I'd have them, then I get angry again. And a note to parents, I believe that if you want to try the diet for your child, that the whole family should join the child. It shouldn't just be the child doing the diet alone, because it makes them feel isolated, and it makes them feel that they're different, and it makes them feel bad. When everybody joins, there's a support system, and I think it's better that way overall. I mean, yeah, it sucks that you don't get your milk products anymore or your gluten products anymore, but there are lots of substitutes these days if you do searches and that sort of thing. If anybody has some good links to that, just feel free to post them to this comment section for gluten products, or dairy-free, gluten-free, casein-free products, and they are good substitutes. So yeah, they're more expensive, but join your child in that regard. Now, about how I eat. This is actually very important. When I was living back in Indiana, when our family lived in Indiana before our parents were divorced, I'd actually usually, we didn't eat as a family, and I would actually eat in the basement in complete isolation from everybody else. And this really worked for me, but now that my dad is remarried and everything, and we're living in California now, it is extraordinarily difficult. Well, we now eat as a unit, as a family unit, and I hate it a lot. There's a couple of things that I hate, and it's not very good. I have been 115 pounds since at least 115, since at least the 9th grade. Since at least 15 years, if not younger. And I've not really, there's been a couple of points in my life where I've been 120, and there's even been points where I've been a little bit below 110. My weight fluctuates between 110 and 120. And now that I'm eating, with my family, it is super hard for me. And it's okay when I eat with people, but when I'm eating with other people, if I'm comfortable with them, it works. But I'm a very slow eater. I'm usually the very last person to finish. I eat very, very slow when I'm with other people. I eat at a decent pace when I'm eating by myself. With other people, I'm slow. Now, with my family, though, I eat I don't eat really quick. I don't eat a lot, is what happens. I feel with my dad, well, there's a lot of psychological things going on, I believe. First of all, it's always been difficult, even as a family, if our family would eat as a whole with my dad, when the original mom and dad were still married and everything. It would be hard because it would be hard to eat because my dad is like just silent, and then all he ever does is make demands. So you know, if there is to be a break in a sense, it'd be some sort of demand of sort to do something, and so it's very uncomfortable. There's no conversation, no trying to understand who I am, and it makes it harder. And now you know that he's married to a Iranian lady, and you know they speak Farsi all the time, and so they're always speaking Farsi at the table. There's just that silence, or there's either some sort of demand. So I want to get done as quickly as possible. I feel very uncomfortable eating, so I don't eat a lot. For that reason. One other reason. Second reason is that they're always eating this Persian food. Not that I have anything against Persian food. You know, I actually liked it when I was having it just a little bit, but you know, it's like the same meals over and over again. And Persian food's very bitter tasting, and they like to put onions and everything. No offense to onions, I like onions, but it's kind of lame when you're always putting onions in these because onions take away from the taste. And I'm tired of the food, and people ask me now, well, what do you like to eat? You know, people want to invite me to lunch or something, like, you choose, Arman, you know, I'm treating you. I'm like, I don't know what I want anymore. Darn it, don't you understand that I haven't had any real food in forever? How am I supposed to know? You know, I don't like, or the truth is, I don't even like eating anymore because of that. And I used to eat in isolation, and so what I'm getting at is I think that if someone with autism wants to eat in isolation, please allow them, because you know they might end up hating eating like I do. I don't like eating food anymore. I don't even know what I like anymore. It's hard for me to enjoy food, and it's because of it being uncomfortable when I'm eating with people, because I'm now eating, you know, I'm now having meals with a family unit, and it is aggravating, and it is detrimental to my health, and I'm losing weight. And you know, it is a psychological thing, but I don't like the, you know, I'm fine with Persian food. Like I said, it was good. It's good when you have it as a once in a while treat, but when it's the only thing you eat, and you know there's no spicing things up, no really ever going out, and sometimes when we go to even to a Persian restaurant, I am, you know, it's hard for me to enjoy food anymore. And so it does relate to autism because I did eat in isolation. I'm saying that eating in isolation is good. Some people do need to be on the gluten-free, casein-free diet. Maybe they need gluten taken out, maybe they need dairy taken out, maybe both. You know, give them both a try. And now that I'm meditating more and everything of that nature, if I do have some dairy products, sometimes I will, just because I get a craving for something. If I do try a dairy product, I will actually notice the psychological impacts on my mind. I can actually notice my thoughts changing to more negative thoughts. Like first it begins with me like doubting myself and thinking bad things, and then it can go, and then if I'm not careful, those thoughts can become an outward projection, and you know, it can lead to me yelling at people and just being a nasty person. So I am actually aware when I have the milk products now the effect that they have on me. And you know, this is not the same as a lactose intolerance where you feel like, I don't know, puking or something from eating milk. This is different. This is it goes into the bloodstream, goes into the brain, it has a psychological impact. And so it's very interesting. There's a lot of psychological things related to food and autism. Anyway, I thank you for watching this video, and I wish all of you a most awesome day of awesomeness. Thank you.